I've always been fascinated by technology and cryptocurrencies. One day, while browsing a forum, I found a service offering second phone numbers that could be purchased with crypto. The idea intrigued me, and I couldn't resist the urge to pull a prank on my girlfriend, Emma. After buying the second number with Bitcoin, I set up a new WhatsApp account, complete with a profile picture and status to make it look more authentic. Posing as a secret admirer, I sent my girlfriend a message, saying, "Hey there, I've been admiring you from afar for quite some time now. You have a secret admirer who thinks you're truly amazing." She was taken aback by the unexpected message and shared her confusion with me. I feigned ignorance and continued to send her messages from the secret admirer's WhatsApp account. She became increasingly intrigued by the attention, and I reveled in the success of my prank. As time went on, I noticed my girlfriend growing distant, consumed by the mystery of her secret admirer. I realized that my prank had gone too far, and it was time to come clean. I arranged a romantic evening at our favorite park, where I nervously confessed the truth about the second number and the WhatsApp account. She was hurt and disappointed by my deception, but she eventually forgave me, understanding that my intentions weren't malicious. I vowed never to play such ill-advised pranks again and promised to cherish our bond. We moved forward, hand in hand, leaving the deception behind us, and focused on building a stronger relationship.
I've just got home after spending the evening with my nephew and his wife Susan. I've been in lust with her for years. She's caught me looking at her in lust several times, and just takes glances and continues conversing. Late in the evening, after we had been drinking and smoking joints, my nephew went to their bedroom and passed out. Sitting across from her, I had a nice view of shape as we talked. Susan smiled as she took glances below my waist. I was so excited I felt I had to expose myself to her. I slowly pulled up my shorts, exposing myself. When Susan glanced down, she stared a few seconds and looked excited even though she was close to passing out. I became so much more excited, having myself exposed to her. As she stared below my waist, I kept exposing more of myself. Susan laughed and giggled and kept staring down there. She spread her legs and pulled back her skirt, smiling at me. I couldn't help myself after that and slowly massaged myself. She watched me for a minute and lay her head back and passed out. I sat there a few minutes massaging myself, staring at her beautiful legs. I went to her on my hands and knees and started feeling and kissing her legs. I was playing out one of my many fantasies I have about Susan. After I felt and kissed Susan's legs, I took pics of her body touching mine. I also took a video of me touching myself in front of her. I enjoyed myself for an hour before I put a blanket over her and came home. It was so exciting for me.
I am a 23-year-old guy. A few months ago, I slept with a woman who was almost 25 years older than me. I had a fantasy about her for a long time, but I never thought it would happen in reality. Now sometimes I want to sleep with her again and sometimes I am feeling guilty. She has a family. Husband and 2 boys. One of them is a year older than me. I am confused, excited and guilty. What should I do?
This weekend me and my boyfriend had a few friends over and one of my besties, who is a guy, spent the night. We ended having a few more drinks after everyone left, and we started chatting about sex. I never thought I'd be into the things we talked about, and found out a lot about my boyfriend that night. Long story short, I watched my boyfriend give oral to my best friend. I kinda liked just watching. And to be honest, he seems to be better at it than I am. I kinda got moist watching it. I asked him tonight if he'd ever want to do that kinda stuff again. And he said anything I want he will do. Now that I know he's into guys too, I think I want to watch him go all the way. I can't wait to invite someone over as I lean back with a glass of wine and a joint, and watch my boyfriend satisfy another man. He's generally a dom top with me, so it's nice to see him be so submissive for me.
I was seeing this guy online, and I was really into him. However, he had some past problems and an abusive household, so he from time to time goes offline, which is not a big deal for me. But I do get anxious and paranoid if my partner is offline for a long time because of my past experience with my ex with whom I had been in a relationship for over a year. He used to disappear over a month without any explanation, and recently I found out he was cheating with God knows how many random girl behind my back, but things were going all right until recently. The guy I'm seeing right now, we've had a conversation on how he will tell me and give me his time at least once a day, and I was so happy, but he literally disappeared next day. I waited, 1 week, no answer. 2 weeks, still no sign of him, so I thought he ghosted me out this time. I tried to hide my emotions from myself, pretending that I didn't care, since it wouldn't have worked out like always. So recently a guy kept asking me out, and I think I rejected him 4 to 6 times. After a week or so I said yes out of frustration. He also asked me out online. The very same day of him asking me out, my partner shows up, and turns out his grandma died, and he was grieving. Long story short, I broke up with the new guy the very next day. I feel so guilty for this. Because of my foolish actions I hurt him, and I know that he's really hurt because he's sending me pages upon pages that we would make it work together. I didn't see it until today, and I feel like a terrible person. I really hate myself, and because of me that someone innocent is suffering.
I have been single for a year and am loving it. I can finally be myself and be free. For the past few months, I have been going to a lot of parties with my male friends. The night always ends with them taking turns with me. We usually hang out at my best friend's house and they never bring their girlfriends, so I am the only girl they pass around. They love watching me take the train and often invite other friends outside the group to join in.
I was at a big Christmas party that had a large attendance of friends and extended families. They're usually pretty good because of the massive amounts of food and selection of alcohol. It's a big house, so the young people usually congregated in the kitchen area and left the older folks in the other main part of the house. As the night got on, the more we got drank, and as usual someone pulls out a bag of blow. After a few lines I was getting horny. And I noticed a pretty blonde kept making eye contact with me, smiling and looking away. My next trip to the bathroom I caught her eye and gave her a little nod. After I waited there for a few minutes, no one came. So I started taking a whiz. Halfway through she walked in and caught me midstream. I couldn't break it off and was a bit embarrassed and missed the bowl a bit. Before I could pull my boxers back up, she grabbed me from behind like a reach around and stroked me until I was fully chubbed. In one slick move she spun me around and dropped to her knees. Without any encouragement she gave me a great oral experience. I didn't give her a tap or forewarn her, I just kind of held her and let loose. She squealed a bit in surprise, but handled it like a pro and swallowed. No gagging or retching, just cleaned it all up. Turned to the sink and got a sip of tap water, and then told me to stay inside another few minutes. When I came out she was back at the table beside a guy who I later learned was her boyfriend. That was one of the incidents that made me distrustful of women for a while.